Welcome back to the Awakening Her podcast. My name is Talia Joy. Hello, hello, welcome. Welcome back to the December Rebirth themed fun extravaganza. Let's call it a funzaganza. No, that doesn't really work. Anyway, we're doing some things this month about rebirth. We're diving deep into transformation, of course, the soul alignment, the spiritual growth, the manifestation, and really just staying on your path to really make the most of the end of the year and go into 2025 with some clarity, some momentum. And today we're talking about a topic that many of us have wrestled with or have yearned to learn more about or change, and that is money, right? We all spend money. Whether you have tons of money or not so much money, money comes into our life every single day. And the key to changing our situation with money is shifting, and I'll get into this in the episode, but shifting our relationship with money. And I like to think of these areas of my life that I wish to improve or transform as something I am in relationship with. So I'm in relationship with my health. I am in relationship with my business. I am in relationship with money, right? And so we're going to talk all about this. We're going to talk in true rebirth fashion and transformation. We're going to take you from where you are now or where you have been, how to dismantle this so that we can move into something that feels better. So whether you're feeling really good with money and you're just wishing to manifest more, or you feel really stuck with money, either way, this is going to really help you. So this one is all about leaving those old stories, patterns, habits behind, the worries, and stepping into a new paradigm of abundance, because money is your birthright and this is your money rebirth. Okay. And the last thing I wanted to say is that this is part of the December extravaganza, the rebirth month, and there is a special code word hidden within this episode that will give you access to a very special offer that will help you in your money manifestation path. So good luck finding the code word. Grab your London fog, your chamomile tea, or your mud water, and let's dive into this one. Hey, beautiful soul. Welcome to the Awakening Her podcast. I am so grateful that you've been led here, and I'm so excited for you that you're answering the call to manifest more magic in your life. My name is Talia Joy, and I am committed to showing you exactly how to manifest more excitement, ease, success, abundance, confidence, love, and anything else you've been craving. So if you're ready to go on a magical journey of spiritual and self-growth to manifest the life you're meant for, we are now besties. Let's dive in. Okay, so let's start by pausing for a moment. We're going to think about, actually scratch that. We're going to observe our current relationship with money. And I said observe because I don't want you to dive deep into the depths, because I want you to be here hearing me. We're going to practice the art of awareness and just observing our situation, right? So I want you to gently observe your current relationship with money and maybe a couple words that come up. How does it feel when you think about it, when you observe it? Maybe it's stressful. Maybe it feels tight. Maybe it feels exciting but uncertain. Whatever comes up is perfectly great. And we can even think about like a 1 to 10 today. How are you feeling in regards to money or in relationship with money, in the area of money? So maybe you've heard yourself say things like, I never have enough, or money is so hard to make, or even I'm just not good with money, or everything I do, it doesn't seem to make a difference. I never make any more money, or maybe even the theme of like two steps forward, 1 step back, or 3 steps back. It feels like you make some progress and then something comes along to take that away. So if this is resonating, I want you to know you're not alone, but I want you to think of that theme with money. Observe what has been the recent pattern. So many of us have grown up absorbing stories about money that were not even ours. And I am a total example of this. I think we all are, right? These are beliefs that are passed down from our family, shaped by society, and then reinforced by our own experiences. So myself personally, my mom was a single mom for some of the time when I was younger. There was in and out boyfriends, etc. But we lived on a farm. We raised pigs and chickens, and she can't canned food and all of this most of the time as a single parent, or at least intermittently as a single parent. And I remember a lot of that time being on our own in that way. And I remember her talking about how hard money was to make. We also lived extremely frugal, extremely poor, let's just say. There were even times where I believe my mom was on like social assistance. We received like a community Christmas hamper one year because we didn't have a lot of money. So I remember this narrative around money is hard. And I remember her saying, basically like teaching me, right? Money is really hard to make and easy to spend. And that was such a narrative that I've still been reprogramming. And one of the biggest things I've had to like unclaw from myself is this belief of like money is so hard to make and so easy to spend. So again, if this is resonating, you're not alone. Most of us grew up absorbing some story or another. So even I've had clients where their parents did have money, but there was a judgment around people that didn't have money, or you'd see a parent like what we would say overworking, like they're never home, they never have time with the family just for money. And no matter what it was, whether you had it or not, whether your parents were stressed about it or not, there were stories that got in there. And then, as I said, they're reinforced by society, people saying money's hard, or, oh, those people, they're poor, like they're worse than. Or when people are wealthy, maybe your parents are like, there's something sketchy going on with them. Like nobody has that much money. It's got to be drugs, right? We have all of these ideas around what it means to be poor, rich, whatever. So these beliefs get passed down, and then the stories get embedded in you as what now feels like truth. So until we kind of go to work dismantling them, they feel like truth. So we want to start with, what is the current relationship with money? And, as I'm saying, things like money is hard might come up. And then I want you to backtrack and think, was that the experience you had growing up? Who told you that? Who showed you that? Maybe your parents didn't say anything about money, but you always saw stress and tension. It can be so many different things. We want to just ask, was your experience like that as a kid? So if money is really up and down, was your experience like that as a kid? Or was that a narrative you heard, that kind of thing? And often we find that there's these patterns that continue on. And that's just because we were, learning at that age. Our brain was very malleable, susceptible to, how things are. Like we're literally learning from our parents. The sky is blue, and this is an elephant, and money is hard, and this is your left hand, this is your right hand. Like it's fact. We just learn it. But now we want to realize that these stories are stories. And they're not absolute truths. They're just narratives that we've been carrying, and then they've been played out so they feel and seem true, but they can be rewritten. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So I like to talk with my clients and on the path as well about the turning point or the tipping point, where we get to this place where the risk to remain tight in a bud is more than the risk it takes to blossom. I know you've heard me say that a bajillion times, but it's such a pivotal point in the rebirth, in the transformation. So we need to shed what no longer serves us. We need to shed that. And when I used to hear people say that, it's like, we need to shed what no longer serves us and step into abundance. I was like, yeah, I'm looking to do that. Like I'm trying. And what we think of is like, maybe it's shedding like the debt or shedding the scarcity so we can step into abundance. But really, we have to look more nuanced. We have to look at the stories. We have to look at the habits. We have to look at your beliefs around money. There's no real other way around it. We have to look at how you relate, as I said in the intro, how you relate to money. What is your relationship like with money? You are in relationship. So that's where we start, right? Do we act out of lack and scarcity? Do we avoid our finances? Are we stressed about every little dollar? Are we frivolous and like kind of non-caring? We have no idea what's going in and out. These different things show us how we're being in relationship to money. So if you grew up with something similar like me, money's really hard to make and easy to spend, you may either carry that exactly out, like every time you make money, you're like online shopping and making sure you spend it quick, and it's not conscious. We're not trying to do this. It's just what we end up doing. Or you're always like noticing every dollar at the grocery store, every dollar here, every dollar there, and you're going, oh my God, it's just leaving, right? Like we'll have these different things that again feel true that back up that story. So we all have a money story. Your money story is the narrative you tell yourself, consciously or unconsciously, about your relationship with money or about how money is, quote unquote, how money is, right? It is what it is. It just is hard. It is, evil. It is whatever. So we also have beliefs that go along with those, like I'm not good at saving, I'll never make more than I do now, money's hard, etc., right? So we believe money is a certain way, and then we also have a story like I'm not good with money, it never comes to me, it never works out, money, being rich is for other people, those types of things. And the problem is that these stories become self-fulfilling prophecies. Psst, you found the code word. The code word is magic. So when you believe money is scarce, you subconsciously make choices that keep it in scarcity. The laws of the universe kick in. Who you are being is in alignment with money is scarce. And again, we're not realizing this. And I know that you're not new to, self-growth. You realize there's things we do subconsciously or unconsciously that we would never purposely try to carry out. That's why it's so sneaky. That's why we need to do the self-growth, the reprogramming, the healing work, because these things run the show until we get to the point where we're like, F it, I don't want to live this anymore. And we really look at subconscious reprogramming. And I'm going to offer a tool right now to help you dismantle that belief. So the first thing I want you to do is to identify the belief. And we've been going through that here. What has been the story? Just even take one. What is one belief that feels true? Like example, money is hard. I'm no good with money. It never comes to me. I'm not lucky. These different things. What is one belief that feels true? Write it down or say it out loud. And then I want you to ask yourself, I want you to challenge yourself. This is the type of stuff we do on the path where I'm like, this is the tool, here we go. Ask yourself, is this belief absolutely true? Can you think of any examples when it wasn't true? Can you think of any time when money came easily, came unexpected, money wasn't hard, any time it came to you when you put out effort, anything that dismantles that story, even once, even like, yeah, I found a dime or I found $5 and that was like the easiest $5 I ever made, the easiest dime I ever made. It just showed up on the seat of my car or on the sidewalk, right? That was easy money. So we start to look at these times, even if it's just one, and we say to ourselves, and I always share this with my clients, I literally talk to myself and talk to my brain. I'll say, brain, see, you found a dime, that was easy. Money equals easy, or money can be easy. Or brain, remember that time a client came out of nowhere and just paid in full, and it was like 48 hours before, I had no idea who they were, and then all of a sudden they were ready to jump in. That was easy. I didn't have to strife and stress. That just came to me. What about that time I got a rebate from the government, a GST rebate or a whatever, tax rebate, and I totally didn't expect it? That was easy. So just thinking about these little things, even one. And then we start to flip that script and we start to rewrite the belief into something that in the future we want to believe, that we want to embody. So maybe instead of I'm no good with money, it could be, I'm learning how to become better with money. I'm learning how to be good with money. I honor money. I'm working on my relationship with money. Anything that shifts you out of an absolute. Money is hard. It sucks. Mo money, mo problems. Rich people are sketchy, and we take it out of that and move it into, I'm learning to open up with money. I'm learning that money can flow to me when I'm aligned, or I'm learning that money can flow to me unexpected. I'm open to ideas that lead to money, these types of things. So that's not this radical belief that you don't really believe. You're actually easing into it. You're using what I call a bridge statement to move you from money sucks into like, I'm a glorious, abundant goddess or whatever. We got to work our way there. You want to actually believe it. And if I'm working with a client, we're flipping up a belief, I will ask you, like, if you come to me saying, okay, I've got the new belief that I want to reinforce, I'll say, do you actually believe it? That's so important. So I am learning that money can flow to me. I am actively unblocking my abundance channel. I am learning how to be better with money. I'm learning how to love money. That type of thing will help you so much. It'll just switch up the energy. And then we need to anchor into the new belief. If you're a member of On the Path, in the core trainings right at the beginning, we talk about conscious and subconscious reprogramming because we do have a brain. So we need to anchor into this new belief. Maybe it's, every time you're spending money, just reminding yourself, I'm learning now that money can come in flow. I'm learning how to be good with money, being grateful for it. Maybe it's expressing gratitude for money or writing out this new statement. We have to start reinforcing the new belief the same way as if we want to become more fit or, be able to run a marathon, we have to practice. That's the part where like the internal environment can be like, yeah, I'm in, but then you have to actually put your boots on the ground and practice. And when it comes to a belief, the practice is about the reinforcement. Whereas if you're learning a language or you're learning guitar, it's physical practice. For a belief, it's about anchoring in, reinforcing, subconsciously reinforcing, and really reprogramming that belief, anchoring into the new belief. So saying it to yourself often, meditating on the new affirmation or the new type of energy that you wish to call in, practicing embodiment, writing, scripting, just getting into that new energy in a repetitive fashion, like constantly. I don't mean that you have to obsess or be stressed, but the more you do it, the more it'll just become automatic. And then you've all of a sudden shifted where, yeah, I'm learning how to be great with money now feels really anchored, really, centered. And then you can move into, I am abundant, or I am naturally abundant, or I am a magnet for money, and really truly believe it. That's how we move into that next level. So I really hope that this has sparked some ideas for you. I want you to just know that you have a money story that was given to you and then reinforced without even your conscious awareness. And if you wish to reprogram your circumstances, make more money, feel less stress, know how to manage it, feel just more clear with money and more empowered, we have to start with your money story. It's not just about which investment and what sort of like weekly practice. That stuff is all really important, but it comes from the new energy. It comes from the new story. Because if someone came along, say you're someone who's really stressed about finances and penny pinching and helicopter parenting your bank account, and you're uptight, stressed about it because of what you've been through, and someone comes along and goes like, oh, you need to invest in this Bitcoin or this stock, even if that is a really great idea, if you're really uptight and nervous, you're not going to be as calm or centered to like make decisions. So you might make rash decisions. You might be hesitant, even if your intuition is saying yes. So it is about the physical practices, but it's about first and foremost where that's coming from. So imagine your new money story. Imagine a day in the life of your new money story, feeling confident and at ease with your finances, picturing money flowing into you, not being constantly stopped by this belief or this experience of money's hard, there's never enough, that kind of thing. This is your rebirth. You're moving from fear into trust. You're moving from scarcity into abundance. Whether, again, you have a lot of money or not, we can still be pinchy. I have had clients, many of them actually, or multiple, that have millions of dollars, and they can either be stressed about it or feel at ease. I have had clients that have a lot of debt and they can be stressed about it or they can be in faith and trust. So it's really not about what the actual numbers say. It's an energy you hold. And this is your time to move from fear to trust, from scarcity to abundance, because it's not just about money. It's about shifting your relationship with money, your relationship to money. And the last little thing I want to leave you with is Source shows me all the time, if you're new to the show, I'm an intuitive channel, and Source shows me all the time how money is the same frequency as self-worth. So I've talked about this on the show. Worthiness, right? We deem that like a loaf of bread is worth this much. self-worthiness and monetary worthiness, financial abundance, and the energy of self-worthiness are very closely linked. So as we're talking about these money stories, I want you to also think about why we do this is because you are worthy of rewriting. You are worthy of abundance. You are worthy of taking the time to recode your mind, to look at these stories, to hash it out, to work it through. You are worth that. And sometimes we just endlessly chase something new without really taking the time to look at your own inner landscape, to clean up your side of the street, to look at your story, your history with money without shame, just with awareness. But you are worth that. So if you've been working on a self-worthiness journey along with an abundance journey, those two things, what I found definitely with myself and with clients, is they kind of link up and go hand in hand. As you expand your self-worthiness, you also tend to start moving into more abundance, especially if you're focusing on that as well, right? So really knowing that you are worth this, you are worth slowing down and getting in touch with your current money story and going through the process that I shared with you to really rewrite that, to start anchoring it in. Okay, so I hope that this episode has sparked something for you. And just remember, abundance is your birthright. This is where you claim it. This is where you rebirth. This is where you grow and expand. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm excited to see how this helps you in your rebirth, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. And before we go, I want to ask you a question. Have you grabbed your copy yet of Manifest This Shit? Manifest This Shit is a law of attraction coloring and activity book available on Amazon, and I am so excited about it. It is packed with beautiful, inspiring coloring pages, manifestation practices, tools, places to make notes and lists and write down your intuitive hits. There's so many beautiful pages in there. It's the perfect addition to your daily practice. So whether you use it to pass time instead of being on your phone, or you use it as a creative ritual, this book has pages for everybody. I know you're going to love it. So grab Manifest This Shit on Amazon. The link is below in the show notes.